Greetings, adventurers, and well met. Master of Dungeons here on the Master of Dungeons Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the Master of Dungeons. It is Sunday evening. Time for some live play. Dungeons and Dragons, continuing Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome in. Fingers, welcome in as well. We do have just our 3 cam up today, right now at the moment, as Ulmor was traveling home. He is fine. His wife is fine. They were traveling, and on the highway that they were on, there was an automobile accident up ahead of them. So they are having to take a detour, and they are going to be a bit late. So we'll probably actually get the actual game itself started closer to 8 p.m. Eastern time. But we figured we'd hop on here, chat a little bit, hang out, and until Ulmor is able to jump into the game to hang out with us and continue playing. If you don't recall, I should say, what the characters are, they were left off in Phandelver, having returned from Talhundreth and leveled up to level 8, and we're preparing, resting up, selling some of the gear and treasure they found, and preparing to head back to the crypts of the crypt of Talhund, underneath the Talhundreth mines and such, and the complex to temple to Dumathorn, if I recall. So that is where we left off. Angelus, Design Lizard, how are things going? How was your holiday?
So far, so good.
Everyone show me your hands, all fingers still? All right, good. Have much in the way of fireworks, or did you take family anywhere? Have any cookouts?
No, I just kind of hung out at home. We went to a Renaissance fair yesterday, but other than that.
Oh, nice.
I have a childhood friend who journeys far out of Connecticut to procure some very large, very not legal fireworks, and it's an annual event up at his place to light off these giant 8-inch shells that he buys and cook out, and friends and family. It's always a good time.
Yeah, I was joking the other day about how this year because we live downtown in the city I live in, and the city's fireworks are at the local high school over the river that runs right beside the high school, which is maybe 2 blocks away. Oh, our camera's all flipped over. That must mean that Ulmer's here, so give us a few moments. We're going to go to our break screen, everyone, and we'll see if Ulmer's ready to jump in with us. We'll be back in a few. All right. Those using closed caption might have been able to read our conversation, at least my end of the conversation, as when we go off to our different scenes, the closed caption still stays on, so you'll be able to hear my mic. We're going to figure that out here. But Ulmor was just chiming in, give us an update from his phone, letting us know they're safe and everything's good, which is awesome that everything's good there. Yeah, so we're living downtown. Fireworks, you can hear them and see them kind of from the street up if you look up, kind of like a down the row of all of the buildings to be able to look up in the sky. And of course, we were looking out our because we have on top, our condos on the top floor, so looking out our other windows to the south, you can see other parts of the town, even out to a place where the reservoir has their fireworks. But locally, I think it must have been buy one get 50,000 free. From the number of fireworks that have been going off since. I mean, there was nothing up until the 4th, and then after the 4th, and then onwards, just been fireworks every night. Thankfully, our only animal, my familiar cat, she's deaf, so she wasn't getting scared like previous animals and furries that we had in the past. Our fur babies. You do distinguish between furries and fur babies, right? It's a different, totally different thing. So no D&D for your 3.5 game today?
No, everyone had things going on, so we pushed it off a couple weeks.
Gotcha.
I think we're coming very close to the end of the campaign, so everyone's trying to make sure they all have the perfect weapons and the right amount of whatever else we may need to go up against dearly beloved Jubilex. For those of you who've been around, familiar name. We were tipped off that that's who we're going after. So,
nice.
Spent a couple weeks shopping and upgrading gear and selling gear because we've been away from town for many months. And getting ready for that big, probably end of this campaign battle.
Nice. Yeah, I was prepping a little bit for the virtual D&D weekend coming up this weekend, and then of course at the end of the month is Gen Con. We're still going to stream, by the way, unless you guys have something else going on. That Sunday after Gen Con, or the Sunday of Gen Con, which I believe is August 4th. Still planning to run a session because we're not getting finished, but we do have 2 more chapters. You're getting close to the end of chapter 6 here, and we do have chapter 7 and chapter 8 to go. So we're not doing too bad on time. Tonight is going to be our 25th episode, which we've had a few weeks off. So that means we've been playing this game for over half a year, which is pretty cool. Because we have had a few weeks off here and there for holidays and different events and stuff like that. So that's really cool to look back and see we've been playing this campaign for half a year so far. I also want to remind everyone that we are coming back on Tuesday, since this is the second Tuesday of the month. On Tuesday evening at 8:30, we do have our next episode of Vecna Eve of Ruin, which has been really interesting, really fun. I've been having a lot of fun with that game as well as this one. Obviously, I have a lot of fun with our Sunday night is like kind of our flagship show, since that was really what we started off with. And by the way, thank you. We have close to 100 views on the VOD from last week, which is really, really awesome. Thank all of the supporters for that. We are pretty close to our sub goal of 300 followers, which we're getting very close to on there as well. And all that. Sub points, I think they reset for this month for July, I believe. But hey, we're getting there. We're getting close to it. We're slowly building up, and that's thanks to the viewers and supporters. So we want to thank you and appreciate you all for chiming in, watching me fumble through Magic the Gathering on Wednesday nights, all of that stuff, hearing me chat about that, and of course watching our live games, which is a lot of fun as well. I did want to give an update also. A lot of the times when our stream is over, we do have a number of different D&D content creators that we will stream to, especially after our live games. One of them is the GM Eric, who we will raid into on occasion after our games, and he invited me to play a one-shot with them, which is going to be coming up on Thursday, August the 8th. We'll have some more information on our socials and, of course, on our Discord channel. If you have a chance, right below here on Twitch in the About Us section, there's a link to our Discord server. Go ahead and click on that, and you can join our Master of Dungeons community Discord server. Of course, all the links to our socials are down there as well. But yeah, it's going to be Thursday, August the 8th in the evening. I think it's going to be 8:30 to 11:30 p.m. Running a one-shot. I'm not sure who the players are that we'll be playing with. He's going to be posting something up on his Patreon and his Discord. When he posts it to his Discord, I'll post a link there as well. If anyone wants a chance to play in that game. I think there's only going to be 3 or 4 open seats for that. I think he charges $25 a session for his games, which is pretty much exactly what I charge for mine. But that is going to be on Thursday, August 8th. I think it's going to be 8th level. And we're going to be playing some sort of fantasy horror genre type of game set in his campaign world, which is going to be interesting and fun. So looking forward to that. So maybe mark that down to have a chance to swing by there to check that out. We're going to be talking about what I actually might do, since we do have streamed together that evening. We might just go ahead and stream, my perspective of the game here on our channel while he's streaming on his, which he said was completely fine to do. So I want to be looking into that over the next couple of weeks while we're prepping for the virtual D&D weekend and while we're prepping for Gen Con as well. So in other D&D news, they've been releasing videos, the YouTube videos, about the class updates. So Design Lizard, Angelus, any thoughts? Feel free to say you hate it. If you hate it, it's okay. What are your thoughts on some of the new 2024 stuff?
I think so many people hate it just to hate it because it's something new, that I'm trying to stay as open-minded as I can about as much as I can. Because anytime something's posted, there's always it's never going to be as good as first edition. So I try to be the opposite of that. I'm definitely behind on the videos. I'm still skimming through some of our stream stuff here and there of the changes to the classes. I don't know. I think it's going to be my excuse to go after some of those classes I don't normally play.
Yeah. The one thing I noticed that I really liked was the concept of making the Divine Smite a bonus action. It's going to be interesting to see that from Paladins most of the time, because Paladins did become just a overwhelming source of massive DPS, especially once they got into higher levels, just because they could Divine Smite with every single attack. Which is really interesting to be able to change that to a bonus action. I would have been happy for them to just do it like sneak attack for a rogue, where you can just do it once a turn. And you could apply it to whichever attack you wanted. But from what I've seen, it's supposed to be a bonus action. And going back to what you were saying about people complaining, I'm like, the only reason why you would have to complain about any changes to Dungeons and Dragons is if you're playing Adventurers League, where you have to play rules as written. Otherwise,
True.
The number one rule of D&D is that these rules are just guidelines. Change them if you want. If you don't like a rule, don't use that rule. If you don't like the optional rules, make your own optional rules. That's the thing that really is interesting to me, is to see how many people complain about rules changes when they don't have to use those rules anyway. Like I said, unless you're playing Adventurers League, where you're playing a rules as written type of game, there's complaining about something is just complaining to complain, I guess. You know what I mean?
I agree. Is it fun? That should be the only rule.
Exactly. Are you having fun?
Are the players having fun?
And I've been actually talking about this, like some game theory and stuff like that, about the concept of what games are, things like that. A lot of our situations where a lot of games where people, especially here in the States, at a Western culture, the idea of playing a game means that there's going to be a winner, which is one of the reasons why I think a lot of people in the United States were confused and weren't really big fans of soccer, because they could tie. And now in the NFL, you can tie as well, which obviously still grates on some people's nerves a little bit. But it's like, they expect, it's baseball. You got to go extra innings. Somebody's got to be a winner. But lots of games like Dungeons and Dragons, there's no win condition. There's no condition to winning the game. It's just a game to enjoy for fun. And the DM and the players can set their own expectations for the game. And I think that a lot of people that set conditions for winning in games where there is no win condition kind of set themselves up for disappointment and failure in a way. You know what I mean? Where they're putting
Sure.
putting pressure on themselves to win at something where there is no win condition. So they're going to be perpetually disappointed in that game because of the fact that they think somehow they have to win when they don't. You know what I mean? Like you said, the number one thing is having fun. Okay, enough about game theory and philosophy. Sorry.
I push that same thing like we talked about a couple of weeks ago with the library kids.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they want to start making friendship bracelets for everything they have to fight. And I'm like, you know what? Some of that Strixhaven stuff we did, there was like a bunch of random skill checks to accomplish passing an exam.
Yeah.
Where in D&D are the rules for passing an exam? So I've kind of been like, if this is where they want to take it, it's their game. I'm just the referee.
Mm-hmm.
So, and sadly, when I looked up like Dungeons and Dragons friendship bracelets, there's a lot of homebrew content around making friends with things instead of fighting them. So that's the way they want to take it. It's their game.
Yeah, that's actually brings up something that I was talking about with G-Americ when we were discussing the one shot. Because I said I don't want to know anything about the plot. I don't want to know any of that stuff. He's going to set up a channel for us to talk with the other players about the characters. He asked me what my favorite characters were. I said, I've played since basic and AD&D and stuff like that. Didn't really play any OD&D, original D&D, like the white box set and stuff like that. But since then, it's always been rogues. Rogues are my favorite characters. I said I'm probably going to play a rogue. 8th level rogue is like a sweet spot for rogues, which is really nice. But the whole idea we talked about was, he goes, what types of games do you like to play? I was like, that's really hard. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, I haven't played as a player in forever. I mean, I've had a couple of opportunities here and there, but something's always come up. It's always on a weekend. And if I'm not running games on the weekend, we don't stream on Saturday. My wife is usually like, okay, we got a full day booked. We're going to go be doing this on this Saturday, which is fine, which is great because it gives us time to take care of other things outside of, streaming or D&D and stuff like that. But it's like, one of the things I always talk about when we're writing adventures, and we did the Dreams of the Red Wizards storyline, which, by the way, is linked below if anyone wants to check out those adventures that have been published so far, was the 3 pillars of play, which they don't really discuss as much in the hardcovers as much as we did in the Adventurers League stuff for D&D with WotC, was the 3 pillars of play, which are combat, exploration, and social. And we talked about that on one of the streams for like our Dungeons and Deliberations stream when we were walking through adventure writing. We're talking about like creating brainstorming and such like that, and coming up with options for each encounter. So like if you have an encounter in the stream, we're talking about in a Fey forest. Like a dark Fey forest around this wizard's tower where they encounter some Fey. So what we did was that talked about creating here's the resolution for this encounter that is combat based. Here's the resolution for this encounter that is exploration based. Like you said, passing a test, passing an exam, there's no rules for that in D&D. How do you go through and decide that? With skill checks and things like that, investigation, finding clues, very similar to what would be like a puzzle or a trap, something along those lines. And then, finally a social encounter. Role-playing your way around the situation or out of the situation. And that's really great to have, as a DM, to have those types of situations in mind when you come to those types of encounters. And you have players that, hey, I don't want to I want to make friends with them. I want to try to resolve the conflict without violence, which is a great way to do that. But sometimes I always encourage players to realize, hey, explore all the options and pathways that you can, but keep in mind that there are going to be certain times where combat is going to be inevitable, so be prepared for those types of situations because, without, going into dungeons and fighting monsters, you're not really playing D&D in the classic sense. I want to say, there's something new as it changes, but, just the classic sense of D&D. There's always going into the monsters, going into the dungeon, finding the monsters, finding the treasure, then going back to the tavern, counting your winnings. There's how you can win at D&D. Get gold.
Absolutely.
So what about you, Angelus? What is your favorite class of all time for D&D? Because you make a lot of characters.
I do make a lot of characters. I don't know that I have a favorite class. I did make a lot of warlocks in 3.5.
Oh, okay.
I like the amount of damage that they could put out just without any spells uses being used up or anything like that. Just the Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I can't say I have a favorite character class. I like playing halflings a lot, or anything like short, like or small. I guess like the 3 foot
Mm-hmm.
races.
So more of the favorite races than necessarily class. It
Yeah,
actually brings up a good point talking about the warlock with Eldritch Blasts and such like that. It's been in 5e as well. Especially with newer players playing 5e, they kind of get the whole thing of this leads into weapon mastery and the new updated rules. Because I always try to explain to them, hey, a fighter only has certain options every round. They can attack with their sword, or they can attack with their ranged weapon. They have a few different things. Battle Master gives you a little bit different options and things like that to use in combat. But pretty much, the fighter goes up his turn, he swings his sword. Same thing with warlocks. You want to cast a bonus action hex, then you want to fire off as many Eldritch Blasts as possible and save your spell slots for when something big happens that you need that. And it just becomes a situation where I think that's one of the reasons why. Seeing warlocks get bored of necessarily doing that every turn or whatever. One of the reasons why they've tried to explore weapon mastery for the warrior classes, which not only the fighters are getting that, but some of the other, pretty much all the martial classes are getting some form of weapon mastery, which I don't know. I'm still, as you said, reserving judgment, Design Lizard, because I'm not really sure how adding something like weapon mastery is going to make the game easier for newer players. Because 5th edition, barring going back to basic Dungeons and Dragons, like the old red books and blue books from basic and expert and stuff from the 80s, that's about as basic as you're going to get. And I think weapon mastery is just going to add a little bit more complication, making it a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. So I don't know. That's just my idea. Thoughts?
it may not be that they're trying to. It may be that they've gotten past doing the like introducing, making it easier for new players. They had 5e for that, and now with this new updated, whatever you want to call it, 5.5 or I don't know.
That's what I'm calling
exactly
it, 5.5.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it seems like they're going back to, maybe not back to, it's definitely not. It's still not as intricate or detailed or complicated. That's the word I want. Complicated as like 3.5 was, but it's it's like they're trying to get more options for people.
Mm-hmm. I really hope it's not a situation where I think with 3.5, looking back when they transitioned, because they had already started with the black books of 2nd edition, like the skills and powers and all of that stuff, kind of making, expanding on the rules a little bit, splitting your stats into different, like your wisdom into intuition and stuff like that. Whereas when Wizards bought TSR, they got got ownership of Dungeons and Dragons. 3.5 came out, or I should say 3rd edition came out, and they obviously had added more stuff, and then they started adding more stuff, and then it turned to 3.5 so they could update the rules, and it just became so much. I'm just worried. I don't know. It's always reserving judgment until the final product comes out, taking a look at it and all that. But it's almost. I just hope that it's not just a money grab type of situation where we're going to, muddy the rules just so we can make more supplements, so we can sell more books, more digital content, and stuff like that. Because I know businesses are businesses, and they've become a situation where profit is the main thing over it. But it is a lot more complicated than it was 50 years ago when the game came out. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And with rumors of D&D, or not D&D, but WotC being the biggest moneymaker for Hasbro
Mm-hmm.
between Dungeons and Dragons and Magic. Yeah, you've got. I'm sure some of it's money, but what's Jeremy Crawford and all them all seem really hype for whatever changes they're making. So
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jeremy and Chris do love the game. I mean, you can tell that their passion for the game is at the forefront when they're working on stuff. So, Design Lizard, looked like you wanted to say something. You put your hands to your face. What's going on?
Just when Angelus mentioned WotC and Magic the Gathering, I hope we're not gonna be coming into D&D X Assassin's Creed, D&D X. What was the last one?
Yeah.
Fallout, D&D X. Well, not D&D X D&D, but all these different crossovers that Magic's doing.
Yeah,
a lot of people are crying that these are just cash grabs. We don't need another.
Well, Magic the
crossover.
Gathering is definitely another conversation altogether for sure.
But I'm hoping D&D doesn't go into like D&D
Yeah.
Star Wars edition, D&D Lord of the Rings edition.
Well, because here's the thing that's really interesting, because they already basically they do have they have Middle Earth, Role Playing in Middle Earth, 5th edition, Adventures in Middle Earth, I should say 5th edition, which is actually a really great system if you want to play that. They of course have their own systems like the One Ring and things like that, which are pretty interesting and cool. But I wouldn't mind. One of the things that was interesting to me that they had put out a couple of supplements, which you can download still for free. But I was very interested. At first, I wasn't until I read some of the stuff. But like when they came out with the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, they came out with Mythic Odysseys of Theros. They came out with Strixhaven. Obviously, we played Strixhaven. We played that campaign of Strixhaven together. That was the Scooby-Doo doors. They had everyone.
Yeah,
They're supposed to be on a night. They were supposed to be on a night mission. They're students at Strixhaven. Supposed to be on a night mission, checking out this like a teacher's college place or whatever, where all the teachers and everything stayed, or whatever. And they were up in there secretly trying to get this information, and they all decided to go to a different door and open it all at once. Everyone was at a different door. It was hilarious. But no, the whole idea of exploring that content and that lore, because they did create so much lore for the Magic the Gathering worlds and such, that I wouldn't mind seeing them, D&D taking some of those Magic the Gathering, expanding on those different worlds for D&D, because there's some rich. I mean, Forgotten Realms obviously is one of the more lore-rich game worlds out there, because they got a hold of it in first edition, published it with second edition as well. Fifth edition is the only edition where it officially became the home world for D&D. Even 3 and 3.5, they went back to Greyhawk, at least the deities from Greyhawk for that. But it'd be interesting just to see them expand out. I know that they're never going to publish my favorite game world for D&D in 5th edition or beyond, just because it was very, very savage and probably not the best, very, very, very cringy world, let's say, with Dark Sun and all of that, the way that it was from a story perspective, which I completely understand. One of the things that I always talk about when people come to play my campaign world first is that you always have to have something for the heroes to be up against, right? And so in my campaign world, many of the things that we're trying to end in our real world Earth are problems that are there in the campaign world. There's sexism, there's racism, there's all these types of things that are going to go against the players. But the difference is in the campaign world, the characters can do other things about it other than just use their voices and, make themselves be heard. They can actually pick up arms. I'm not saying that's something to do with the real world by any means. I'm not saying that at all. But like, at least in the campaign world, telling that story does make for compelling stories, because it gives them something to fight against. There's good and there's evil, at least in our human minds, the dichotomy of how we think, light and dark, good and evil. And it'd be really interesting just to see how those types of things are explored in other campaign worlds and stuff. So, yeah.
I could get behind that. As long as we're not rolling them out just strictly as like collaborative cash grabs.
Yeah, yeah.
Build them in. Like I actually enjoyed digging through some of the World of Warcraft X D&D. I thought that was an interesting attempt. Coming from a group where a bunch of friends, we played World of Warcraft for many, many, many years together, well past its prime.
Yeah,
To find that book.
When WoW came out, I was playing EverQuest, and I'd been playing EverQuest for about 10 years. And the reason why we played EverQuest is because back in the early 90s, back when the internet was just maybe still just a premature baby, there that was people were trying to, build up and nurture and stuff like that. We were playing on Vax and Unix labs and stuff like that, and coding Daikumods, which is the basis of the coding. From my understanding back then, came from Japan, and we were, using translations into coding language here in the States, and we were coding text-based MUDs, multi-use dungeon games. And we went through and, created these games where, people could join online via different servers and all this stuff like that. And we just imagined, oh man, could you imagine one day if this was 3D? And then then EverQuest came out, and it just, there was the reason why it was called Evercrack at one time.
Right.
And then we played that all the way through, all the Planes of Power, all the expansions. They're still going strong. They just had an expansion come out recently too. Obviously the graphics, I don't know what the graphics really looked like. We went through some of the graphics updates, but then everyone kind of jumped ship when the new kid on the block came out. Some people had, went to different games like Dark Age or Camelot when that came out and such like that, different games. But when World of Warcraft came out, that was a mass exodus from EverQuest over to World of Warcraft. But there were some of us that just hung on to EverQuest. And then people started moving over there. And then another new game came out. And here it is 17 years later. I'm still streaming it here on our channel. When Lord of the Rings Online came out in 2007, yeah. That to me is, I don't know if any of our viewers play MMOs or anything like that, but everything you want from an MMO is, at least from my perspective, from a long-time MMO player, is in Lord of the Rings Online. So it's going to be interesting to see. I hear that there's a new MMO for Lord of the Rings coming out. Has anyone heard about that?
No.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one in development. They got the new movies coming out. The whole Search for Gollum with Peter Jackson producing that.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. It talks about Viggo Mortensen coming back and playing Aragorn again. I don't know. Interesting stuff. But I think someone had mentioned something about Amazon Prime trying to do a MMO. So I don't know if that's going to be set, because Lord of the Rings is actually set in the Third Age. Lord of the Rings Online, I should say, is set in the Third Age. Starts off with your character doing things basically on the sidelines in the background, trying to help the Fellowship advance towards Mordor, which is the basis behind that. So, yeah. MMOs are pretty interesting. So it would be like you said, doing the WoW versus with crossing over with D&D. They actually did a 3rd edition, 3.5 edition version of EverQuest as well for a short period of time. That had like a core book and a few different things like that. So yeah, exploring different magic worlds would be a little bit. I wouldn't complain too much about them wanting to do more of that. If they wanted to, instead of making the crazy, as you mentioned, cash grabs for, cross house of magic with Fallout and magic with Warhammer 40K and, all that stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. So I lied. I guess there already is a Doctor Who RPG based on 5th edition.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Coming.
There's a lot of things for 5th edition with the open OGL and all stuff like that, which is really interesting. I have been toying around in my spare time, and I'm not going to say that there's going to be a release date or any sort of thing, because it is still being fleshed out at the moment. But my one stream that was on Mondays that wasn't D&D related now is D&D related, with our horror nights for our Around the Campfire with Dead by Daylight with Vecna and the troupe, the bards coming into Dead by Daylight. I've got a few pages written up about the concept of a role-playing game based around that with using 5th edition rules. So, not saying anything was going to happen with it. It might just, might just give up on it, but we'll see. I was always hoping that they were going to do a Star Wars 5th edition version of the game because, well, think about it. If they came out with the Unearthed Arcana a number of years back with the Mystic, which is basically the old Psionicist, and the point system for the Mystic, if you should be able to find it out there on the internet. I think it's still free on the DM's Guild for the Mystic, which was basically the same thing they put out the Artificer. Of course, the Artificer is now an official class coming in with Tasha's, and I think it was Eberron came out with the first. The first printing was Eberron, and the second printing was in Tasha's.
Yep.
But yeah, the Mystic had point system perfect for Force users and stuff like that you could easily adapt, and a lot of the abilities were very similar that you could easily adapt to like Force different abilities for Force use and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see if they still have those rules or any purpose for those rules, just to look into. So I don't know. We'll see. Lots of different things you can do with the D20 system.
For sure.
Speaking of which, I just thought of this too. Some of our members of our community were chatting in a group chat about the new. Have you seen the new the DC-20 system?
I have. Yes.
I've seen stuff about it. I haven't watched any of the videos on it. I don't know if it's I'm just not interested or, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. I haven't really had a chance myself to look into it too much, which it looks interesting. It's got a lot of, what's the one thing too? A lot of things they'll create a lot of buzz around it, and then it comes out and the buzz was more hyped than what the actual product was itself,
Yeah.
Which is going to be interesting to see. I heard that the reviews, again, I don't really follow reviews myself. I always like to I don't follow movie reviews. I'll go watch the movie myself just to get an idea of it. But I did hear that the intro adventure, was not well received. But I don't know. That's just what I've heard so far and all of that. So we'll see what happens with it.
The only reviews I've seen, like I said, I didn't really watch the videos about them, but I've seen people having positive reviews, but it's all people who are like friends with the content creator who's creating
Part of the
it.
project, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're necessarily part of the project, but they're at least involved with him. They know the dungeon coach. That's the person who's
Yeah.
creating it. So that's the name of his YouTube channel. Some of the other channels that have reviewed or had they'll have ads about it. He's sponsoring their videos for as part of the Kickstarter. So it's all positive, but
a good point of that is like when you have a collection of people that are like-minded, whereas here's what I don't like about Dungeons and Dragons, and then these people are like, hey, I don't like that about it too. Hey, I don't like about that too. Well, here, I'm going to do this and create this content. So obviously the people that already agree with you are going to, like the content. So it's going to be interesting to check it out. And like I said, I'm not reserving any judgment or anything like that. I would really like to check it out. I think I'm still a member of his Discord, actually. I might be. I've stopped by a few of his stage events back in, it would have been for a couple of years ago, the last time I attended one of his stage events. But it's got some really interesting aspects and different interesting ideas about D&D and being a DM, which is pretty cool too. It's always good to see people sharing what they would do and sharing their ideas and opinions, just because if it's something that you've done before, wouldn't necessarily do the same thing. There's always going to be that, awesome sliver of information that you're going, hey, I can add that to my toolbox and help myself become a better DM for my players too. So
For sure.
I think I watched a couple of his videos early on, or not, maybe not early, a couple of years ago, and some stuff I liked, some stuff I kind of. It was either the same thing I'd heard before from other people, so I just kind of stopped watching him. Nothing to saying about, not saying anything bad about him, just
Well,
stuff I'd heard other creators already say, and it's like, okay, I've heard it from like 2 or 3 other people, so no reason to watch another video stating the same things.
yeah, it's really difficult too to sift through the amount of content that people put out there. Mostly from the perspective of, I mean, obviously any content creator is going to create stuff from their perspective. It's really interesting though to see the amount in the past, probably I want to say 10 years, but 5 years or so of content piggybacking off of other content, where something that one person will post a video about, or something about on YouTube, or whatever social media platform they're using, that other people will latch onto it, and it turns nothing into something. You know what I mean? How things kind of just snowball a little bit, and what is not really an issue becomes an issue. It's like, why? What are you saying?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Gotcha.
All of a sudden, something.
Yeah. Then it's like you find out well, maybe not exactly how many content creators are out there talking about D&D, but like, I follow, let's say I follow like 10 people. I think it could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less. I'm not sure exactly. And one of them did a special thing for the past week, because Shark Week on whatever
Discovery Channel.
Discovery Channel's coming up. They decided this past week to do a Kraken week, and it was pretty much anybody could join in, and they were like, it was just anything that was either Kraken based or water, sea based, ocean based content, whether it's how discussing creating characters or fighting underwater, any type of thing like that. And they were expecting like 20 to 30 content creators to join in. They made a playlist, and they were adding people to the or adding videos to the playlist as it went. The last I looked, which was last night, it was 130 total entries.
Oh my goodness.
Some of them, quite a few were like just shorts. Some were probably shorts that were, advertising their upcoming video of the same thing, that's on the list as well. But yeah, 100, it was like 130 total entries into this. So, let's even just say half of that. That's 70, 65, 70 people or content creators creating videos that are, D&D or TTRPG based. That's probably not even all of them. You probably got some that are for other role-playing games. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's tons of Call of Cthulhu YouTubers
with Kraken, yeah.
and Traveler and all those other types of games too. So
that is an interesting idea. Obviously, the majority of the stuff that we do here on our Master of Dungeons channel is D&D or D&D adjacent, as I say, content. Be interesting to maybe consider a night where we do a different RPG that might be still fantasy based or something. Might even do something maybe cyberpunky. You guys into any sort of cyberpunk stuff? What's your take on, like, for example, Shadowrun versus Cyberpunk?
I haven't played Cyberpunk.
You have not?
I haven't played Cyberpunk. I've played Shadowrun in the past.
Gotcha.
But from what I've seen of Cyberpunk, it's Shadowrun is a little more fantasy based. Where
Shadowrun's a mixture of the two.
And where Cyberpunk is strictly humans, but there's some magic and Mostly technology based.
Yeah, Cyberpunk, because we used to play a shit ton of Cyberpunk back in the day. Cyberpunk 2020, we played first edition of Cyberpunk 2020 came out, and we played that for about 7 or 8 months at our game clubs at the university, like just crazy amounts of Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is, unless they changed it in Cyberpunk Red, which I do have some Cyberpunk Red stuff. I really haven't had the time to really take the time to look through much of it, but at least old Cyberpunk, there wasn't any magic or anything like that. It was all basically technology based. Corporations have taken over the world and started to genetically enhance humans with cyber technology. Corporations controlling the world. Go
I think
ahead.
they may have added in psionics into it. But
Oh,
other
cool.
than that, not like straight magic.
Yeah.
But I think there's a very limited amount of psionics that you can do. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've watched any videos about it. Like I said, I haven't played at all, but
I mean, I could definitely see that in the genre. And that was the big thing for me, was that I was not, I've never been one for really crossing genres a whole bunch, which is why, again, don't get mad. This is nothing against your, those that may be watching video on demand or on YouTube, whatever. This is nothing in any way diminishing your love for something. This is just my opinion. Why I was never. I'm not saying it's a bad world in any way. It's just not a place that I prefer to play. And don't lose your breath when I say that I was never been a big, person to play an Eberron. Mostly the look on Design Wizard's face. Mostly because of the steampunk aspect of it. You know what I mean? My wife really loves steampunk things and such like that. I myself have never really been that into steampunk, but the same thing with Shadowrun. I played the system. I like, the system's really cool. I just myself was not a fan of mixing magic and technology as much. I think more along the lines that has to do with my anthropology degree and such like that, and studying magic, science, and religion. So much so is that there's this study of that magic came first, and then religion interrupted magic, and magic was closer. The whole concept of magic was closer to science than religion, whereas magic was trying to discover reasons and actual interactions with observations and how things worked, versus religion that came in and said, well, things work because there's some extraplanar being that controls it all. And then science came back and started looking at observations and such like that. So the whole magic and science thing merging together in the genre was kind of like, for me. It's still fun, like I've played, they had a really cool card game that D&D actually made a very similar card game to it. I'm trying to think of what that was. Dragon's Fire. I don't know if you ever played Dragon's Fire. It's a card game from D&D. It's based off of Shadow something or other, or Crossfire. I think Crossfire was the Shadowrun version, which is a really, really fun card game. It's one of those cards that collect like a co-op game for all the players are playing together, trying to accomplish the goal, trying to win the game, basically, from a co-op perspective, where everyone's working together to win, or everyone loses together. So that's pretty cool, pretty interesting. But it is getting close to the top of the hour. Let's go ahead. We've got a break coming up here, an ad break coming up here in about 5 or 6 minutes or so. So we're going to go ahead and go to our break screen, and we will see you on the other side of that ad break, and we will try to check in with Ulmor to see where we're at for an update. If it's going to be a little bit longer, what we might do is just go ahead and call the stream for tonight. Obviously be back tomorrow, but we're going to take a break for now, and we will see you on the other side of the ad break here in about 6 or 7 minutes or so. So stick around. We'll be back in a few. All right, back on this side of the ad break. Cameras look good. Yay. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome in, Ulmor.
Yay. Made it.
Made it back in time in one piece. More importantly, you and your wife were able to dodge the detour. I hope. Did you find out anything about the accident, by the way, on the way back?
No, not at all. No, we didn't even pursue it any further. It was had both sides of the interstate blocked, though, whatever it was. I'm thinking it was a large truck or tractor trailer.
Like a tractor trailer. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are back in. We're glad Ulmer's back with us and safe, ready to begin some play, as we had informed all of the viewers at the beginning, before the ramblings of myself, Design Lizard, and Jealous for the last hour, just chatting about different games and stuff. The characters did make their way through Tal 100th. They did find to defeat the Cephalon cluster at the end that the cultists were worshipping, had retrieved the Drow cult, kind of not really leader necessarily, but the member, returned him to his companions, or to his sons and their companions, and had made their way down to the crypt entrance. Before heading to the crypt, they returned to Phandelver to rest up, sell some treasure and such they had found, had split up their coins, taken a long rest, leveled up to level 8, and have then made their way back to the crypt entrance to enter into the crypt of Talhoun beneath Tal 100th. So before we begin play, let's go ahead and reintroduce our characters to the viewers. So Phelix, go ahead, quick recap of who you're playing.
I am playing Phelix, the Lightfoot Halfling, Order of the Scribes Wizard, level 8. with the urchin background. Grew up in the city of Neverwinter on the streets. Was helped out by Gundren and sent off on a mission to help do something in Phandelver so long ago I can't remember what it was anymore.
You were delivering some delivery to Barthen's Provisions.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And went on, and now we're doing adventures and fighting crazy monsters.
All right, thank you, Phelix. And then we have Hannibal.
The first thing you'll notice about Hannibal is his amazing forest of perfectly groomed chest hair. Being a monk, he wears no armor, just his monk robes. He's following the way of the ascendant dragon, so you might see him sprout some wings and fly a little distance, or drop some dope like dragon magic, replacing some of his attacks with energy attacks. He likes swinging his beautiful battle axe Hugh and swinging his fists in a key field rage with flurry of blows. He loves adventuring with his three friends, and he can't wait to get to the bottom of this shard business.
All right, thank you, Hannibal. And then we have Ulmor.
Oh, yes, I'm playing Ulmor Wakefield, the half-orc barbarian, and he is a bard and barbarian. So, barbarian, if you will. He has a sailor background, so speaking of rage, he likes to swing his fists at opportune times, but often with a weapon in hand. He has taken the shield master, so he's got a shield, and he likes to bash with that. But just one thing about him is he's ideals are all about respect. He likes the thing that keeps a ship together is mutual respect between captain and crew. So he basically looks at his crew as his people that he's hanging out with, Phelix and Hannibal and Shelrin. And he's not sure who the captain is right now, but he looks to them for guidance because he likes to make the intelligent decisions with his intelligence and wisdom of 8. But he does his best in that area.
Thank you, Ulmor. Everyone go ahead and start with inspiration if you don't have it from last session. And then, of course, they do have their NPC cleric, Shelrin, who is the giver of guidance. So everyone knows Shelrin's the captain of Ulmor's ship. But she is a Twilight Domain cleric that is traveling with the characters as their healer and has been on them with since the beginning, pretty much, maybe the second session with them as an NPC. And she is a worshiper of Salune and Elistrei, as well as Sahanin Moonbow as well. She gives reverence to those three deities that do all have something to do with the Twilight Domain. So your characters will find yourselves in the Tal 100th, having made your way back down through the complex at the crypt entrance. Again, a description of the crypt at the west end of this long room. Bears an elaborate carving of a mountain filled with gemstones. On the west wall is a dial covered in simpler carvings. The dial's center has a faceted indentation, like a socket for a gem. Above the dial is a phrase, "Only a complete gift opens the crypt beyond." I believe that Hannibal still took as part of his treasure to remain holding on to the holy symbol of Doomthorn as well. And having the granite ledger in your possession that you found in the library does indeed give you the key to unlocking the lock in front of you. Part of your treasure, of course, you still have the gems that you can use to unlock the door to the crypt. Of course, following the instructions in the granite ledger, you're able to insert the gems and turning the dial in the correct order. After you rotate the dial to the correct combinations and such, you take the final gem and place it into the center socket and opening the lock. Heading down into the crypt of the Talhund. First thing you notice as the door slides that the crypt definitely, Hannibal, is of solid dwarven construction. Despite the millennia of neglect, you can see the stone remains strong. Along the walls, as you descend down the stairs, so the stairs head a little bit to the west, and then they turn south and continue to the west yet again. And you can definitely see that as you start to descend, Sharon does touch your shoulder, Phelix, giving you the gift of her dark vision as well. And the crypt is completely dark, only you being able to see with your dark vision. The ceiling, as you go down, the ceiling above you, descending the stairs, is about 12 foot in height. And as you make your way, let me go ahead and bring us over to our other. We're not going into combat, but that way the viewers can see. Oops, maybe what's going on there. It's our Roll20 game. That was very odd. But you do find yourselves on a set of stairs, and you've had coming from the northeast there, you do see the hallway open up in front of you to the northwest, Ulmor. You're on mute.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to sneeze and I didn't. So, yeah, the stairway and the corridor leading down in. Upon opening the door, Ulmor he's looking for tracks, like if anything has been through there recently that he can tell.
Okay, go ahead and give me a wilderness survival check. I'm sorry, wisdom survival check. Wilderness survival. We were just talking about 3rd edition and 2nd. Wisdom survival check. There we go.
Oh yeah.
And yes, don't forget, I did want to note, I just looked in the chat there in Roll20, because of the awesome comments and things like that from Desheaves, we did give Desheaves some free channel points to spend, and they did redeem a wild magic surge. So the first spell cast, whether it be guidance from Shaelrun or whether it be a fireball from Phelix, or maybe even fairy fire from our bard-barian, is going to be subjected to a wild surge, a magical wild surge. So let me actually pull out our wild surge token. We'll put that on the board here just to have it ready to go in the event that spell is cast. All right, so checking around, your survival check is a 6. There's too much dust, Ulmor. Looking around, I mean, the floors are just coated in dust. You don't see any tracks whatsoever.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to make any sorts of checks or anything like that before heading down?
I'll investigate around.
Are you just coming down normally yourselves? You don't have any torches that I'm assuming, right? Since everyone has dark vision?
No. No torches.
But yeah, go
Sneaking down.
ahead and give me an investigation check if you want. Oh, nice.
Nice.
We are
Get that
starting
out of the
off.
way.
Nice.
We are starting off as the party always starts off with very, very shitty rolls, but as the as the session progresses, they get very, very much stronger rolls. Throws out your virtual dice. No, but just passing with your passive perception, Hannibal. The only thing you can really see in the dust is like perhaps maybe passes of insects and stuff like that. Doesn't seem like any living being. Even opening the door, just the amount of dust and air that came out from behind the door leading down to the crypt was massive. So it doesn't seem as if any living creature has passed here at some time.
All right.
Okay. Well, Ulmor will
Looks like you're first.
ask if everyone is going to be ready to go down in. Are we ready to go in this crypt?
Sure enough.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's hope the dead are still dead. Here we go. And
Well, you were informed that there might be there are most likely ghosts and spirits and undead down here from Gwen Orsong
Yeah.
from
Hey,
from her studies and such like that. So be mindful.
One can only hope. All right, Felix, ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you go first. Just kidding. No, here I go. And I'll step into the stairs and peek around the corner.
Looking around the corner, you can see there's a landing at the base of the stairs. 4 stone sarcophagi stand against the walls here, 2 against the north wall and 2 against the south wall. A statue of a dwarf warrior stands between each pair of the sarcophagi. The statues and sarcophagi are all badly cracked, almost as if they would fall apart with a touch.
And I'll be whispering as I'm talking. I'll kind of whisper back to Hannibal. I tell him that there are stone coffins up here that look really cracked. And I kind of step forward and make room as I step around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of stand there and just kind of look around to see if there's anything moving or anything.
You can see from your vantage point, there is a hallway exiting this room to the west.
All right. Just kind of leery to step out between these 2 statues, expecting it to be some kind of like double dart trap. No.
Ulmor, he says, "Well, if you guys don't want to look at these coffins, there's that passageway up ahead." And he just starts walking towards it.
Okay.
Kind of looking down the hallway to see if there's, anything.
Looking to the west, you can note that there is a door or 2 on the northern wall of the passage beyond.
Okay. I'll whisper back, "There are doors on the north wall." And before he goes, Ulmor will step down and kind of peer at this bottom left sarcophagus, just looking at it curiously to see if there's anything dead going to come out of it as he readies his staff. Just kind of looks at it and see if he notices anything.
It is very badly cracked. I mean, it is like kind of set, instead of a sarcophagi, like, set horizontally, it's set vertically up, like into the wall itself.
Okay.
Perhaps some sort of crypt for like guardians of some sort. Maybe these were people that were very stoic in their defense of the temple above.
He just sort of grunts and just kind of okay, and seems satisfied with that, and starts to walk down the corridor and looks back and kind of motions everybody.
Okay, as you step through that threshold,
here we go.
Dust and rumbling comes from the 4 sarcophagi. As one closest to you does crumble to dust, but emerging from the other 3 are dwarven-sized guardians. Let me bring them over to the token layer.
Oh, they're scary.
Guardians.
There it is, initiative.
Okay.
Nice show.
And the top of the round, Shaelwyn is going to attempt to turn undead as her action. So she is going to, each one of them will have to make a wisdom saving throw of DC of 15. Let me pull up their sheets just to see if they have any sort of turn resistance or anything of that nature. And as she turns them, as she pulls up the holy symbol, you see, the machinations that she does when she attempts to turn undead. And you note that the creatures are unaffected by her cries to the heavens. Hannibal, you are up next.
All right, I will slide on down. Wind up with Hugh. Ask, you wouldn't happen to be made out of wood, would you? And take a swing.
AC of 19 will hit.
Excellent. And then coming back with my second attack, I'll bring Hugh back up and across.
AC of 12 will miss.
And for now, I'll just give them one unarmed strike as my bonus action.
That will hit.
Hey. There we go. See how bad this first round goes before I use stunning strikes or anything.
Okay. The bad guys are up. The first one kind of looks at your audacity of attacking it, Hannibal, and it turns its gaze to you. Its gaze, I should say, to you. Go ahead and please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, dear.
You make the save. This one in turn up here is going to move over to Shae. This one here is going to move over to Phelix.
Run, little guy.
The one on Shae is going to attempt its multi-attack. Missing and missing with her AC of 19. The attacks on Phelix. Obviously, you would have cast Mage Armor before heading in here, Phelix. So that's not a problem. So your AC is currently a 17. An AC of 24, Phelix.
Yeah, that'll hit.
For 10 bludgeoning. It has not sworn vengeance against you because it did not hit you with its vengeful glare. And then an AC of 26, so a total of 23 bludgeoning.
Ouch. That's almost half my hit points.
All right, I'll try to stun one of these.
And now it takes us to Ulmor. I was really waiting to see that wild surge on his shield.
Wild surge, don't know. Yeah, that would have been funny. Okay, I see that these things are coming about, and I see them attack my friend Phelix. So I immediately start to rage.
Okay.
Rage. And I will run forward and swing my staff at the head of this crypt guardian, trying to knock it off.
Okay. And real quick, with your rage, you were a tiger. What was your elk? What was your...
Elk. Mm-hmm.
So what do your
elk.
companions gain with your rage again?
I get fast. Let me.
It was just you or your companions too. So I think it's just you, right?
It says while I'm raging, while you're raging and aren't wearing heavy armor, your attack speed. Sorry, I lost that. Your walking speed increases by 15.
Okay, excellent. Okay, cool.
Very swift.
Gotcha. All right, so the 11 will miss, but you do have a second attack now.
Second attack, yes. Swing away.
Oof. Not used to attacking twice in a round, Ulmor.
No. All right. So with my bonus action, I already did already raged. So I'll go ahead and try to get ready to position myself between this Crypt Guardian and Phelix.
Okay. Do you want to try to use your shield bash as a bonus action?
Yes.
Actually, wait, never mind. You already did use your bonus action. Thank you. You did
Yes.
say you raged. Okay, so Felix, you were up.
Here we go.
All right, casting a spell.
All right.
Um,
What spell are we casting?
All right.
That's a good question. Don't want to do that because that was just. Chill touch. That's a range spell attack. That means I have disadvantage on that. Correct.
Correct.
You know what? Let's use it. Let's use it early. I'm going to use my DM inspiration to negate the
Disadvantage. Okay.
disadvantage. And chill touch. 22.
22 will indeed hit. However, do me a favor. There's that wonderful token. Go ahead and click it. You should see a surge button in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Go ahead and hit that surge. 21. Now go ahead and hit the pink effect button. See what the effect is. You turn into a potted plant. Oh. Until the start of your next turn, wild plant, you are incapacitated and have vulnerability to all damage. If you drop to 0 hit points, your pot breaks and your form reverts. But go ahead and roll your damage.
All right.
9.
Necrotic.
And you do note before you turn into plant form that it only does 4 necrotic damage to the creature.
Okay.
But it does have disadvantage to
Well.
hit you, though.
That it does.
All right, so Felix is done. He's incapacitated. Sharon is up, very shocked at what just happened. She is going to pull out a spell. She's going to go ahead and cast the Spirit Guardians as her action. And we'll throw up that aura for you. 15 foot. And her Spirit Guardians are going to do 14 points of radiant damage at the start of their turn. She is going to then pull out her mace, her Lightbringer mace, and hold up her shield. Hannibal, you are up.
All right, so not liking what happened to Felix, I'm going to just move over one. Going to take my 2 swings of Hugh down like a, I don't know, and then back up like a golf swing. We'll do a whack and a whack.
ACF 13 will hit.
Oh, no kidding. Cool.
ACF 22 will hit as well.
Excellent. I will burn a key point. I will use Flurry of Blows, punch twice on the one in front of me.
Okay.
Nice. Stunning strike that.
Okay. Ooh. 12. Oops.
Yikes. Okay.
Oh, hold on a second. One moment. Give me a moment here. 20, 32. $39, $43. Okay, hold on a second. Let me fix this properly here.
Yep.
There we go. Much better. Okay, and then it is a DC. What is your DC for your save?
15.
And you note that they are immune to being stunned.
Balls. All right. Well, I already burned the key point, so I'll take my second unarmed strike. I'll stop mid-fight to adjust my chest hair. And, yeah, stay there for now.
All right. The creatures are up at the start of their turn. They must make a wisdom saving throw DC 15, or they will take 14 radiant. If not, if they make their save, they'll take 7 radiant. I'll start with the one by Hannibal first. Wisdom saving throw. Will fail, taking 14 radiant. You notice because of that, they do not regenerate.
Love it.
One by Shaelren. Will make a save, taking 7 radiant. One by Ulmor. Will succeed, taking 7 radiant. Start of their turn. This one is going to continue its attack on Hannibal. This one's going to continue its attack on Shaelren, and this one will turn its focus to Ulmor, since it doesn't see a potted plant as being any sort of threat to it at the moment. So it is going to attack Ulmor first. It only had its disadvantage on Phelix, right?
Yes.
So it will miss with the natural one against Ulmor, and miss with the natural one against Ulmor again. The one on Shaelren, missing and hitting for 10 bludgeoning. And now the one on Hannibal.
Here we go.
AC of 24.
That hits.
Okay, so you will take 11 bludgeoning plus 14 more, which is a total of 25. Since it did hit you with this vengeful glare, so it has sworn vengeance against you.
It hit me with its glare. I thought I made a save.
Well, no, but when it used this glare, it's basically making you a sworn enemy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Understood.
And then another 26 points of damage.
Cool.
And that brings us to Ulmor.
Winging the staff once again.
That will hit. You note, of course, because they are undead, they are immune to poison.
Yeah.
Doing 11 points of damage.
And I'll swing again.
10 will miss.
Okay. And with the bonus action, I will try to bash him with my shield and knock him down.
Okay, knock him prone.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to shove him back 5?
I'm just going to try to knock him down.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. It's going to resist with athletics as well.
26.
It's going to fail. It is knocked prone.
All right.
Oops.
And now I just kind of look bewildered at this plant that's sitting beside me, and it has a strange little mop of hair, it looks like, with its on its leaves.
You want to call for Hannibal to bring Hugh in this direction.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Ulmor quite hasn't figured it out. He thinks that maybe Phelix left that plant there, conjured it up, and left it there, and then disappeared. He doesn't know.
All right, Phelix, at the start of your turn, you revert back to your normal form.
Surprised.
Okay. What? All right. Okay. What? Never mind.
Just try to start to think like a halfling again instead of a plant.
Yeah. Well, that means thinking. So, let's see.
Keep in mind that it is prone, so any ranged attacks that you have will have normal rolls. Because normally when you're attacking a prone creature with ranged attack, they are a disadvantage, but because it is prone, you do have advantage, so it automatically offsets them.
All right, let's. My chill touch didn't work so well though, so we're gonna try. Let's do a chromatic orb.
Okay.
Do one of those. You know what? There's not a whole lot that's resistant to. Let's see. Can I do the? No, I can't do radiant at first level, so I will do force damage at first level.
Okay.
So that's 19 to hit,
That will hit.
and we'll do 20 force damage to
Woo-hoo.
the one that's prone there.
Indeed, you do.
That bar barely moved for 20 damage.
Anything else?
And, yeah, I'm gonna take a step back this way.
All right, it will swing at you with its reaction. Missing.
All
Anything
right.
else?
And then let me just check something real quick.
Sure.
I'm going to summon my Manifest Mind. It's a bonus action.
Sure.
Pop it right there. All right. And that'll be me.
All right. On Sheldon's turn, as a bonus action, she's going to cast Mass Healing Word as a bonus action. So Phelix and Hannibal, each one of you will gain back 5 healing. And she looks as if she wants to. Oh, wait, I have to make a saving throw for her, a con save from when she got hit to see if her aura is still up. DC is 10. She is good to go. So she's still maintaining concentration on her spirit guardians. But then again, as her action on her turn, she is going to use from her amulet of the devout one of her channel divinities. So at the end of your turn, you will gain a d6 plus 8. You'll gain 10 temporary hit points.
Okay.
That is going to be her action, as she was thinking about swinging that Lightbringer right at that creature's face, but she thought better of it and thought more of you all as a group. So Hannibal, you are up next.
All right. Sounds good. Stunning strike was not very stunning. I am going to take my 2 swings of hew.
Okay. That will hit. Nice.
And on the backswing, I got to work on that backstroke. All right. Seeing the amount of damage that's going down, I am going to burn a key point.
I mean,
And do
there is
another
a
flurry of blows.
rather large field above your hideout where you could probably set up a golf course to work on that backswing.
I probably will have to. I'm going to throw 2 punches into.
Unfortunately, both of those will miss.
Of course. That's my turn.
Go ahead and take your 10 temporary hit points.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The creatures are up again. The one by Shaelrin will deal with this actions first. It's going to try to vengeful glare against Shaelrin. She's going to attempt her saving throw, wisdom saving throw. She is going to fail. She is paralyzed.
Well, that's not good.
No.
Didn't expect her to fail, did you?
Nope.
No.
She did just increase her wisdom to 18 as well.
Rats.
Yeah.
Find the paralyzed. There we go. Let me double check something there real quick. I want to put those in here for you all. Maybe I did not. Oh no. She's paralyzed, which also makes her incapacitated, which means she loses concentration.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So her spirit guardians is gone. She doesn't have to concentrate
Oh.
on her aura, though.
Would they take the Spirit Guardians before the turn started, though?
Oh, no, you're right. Yes. Let me go ahead and make their saves first against it. Because that would have been, let's see what it was this round. Would have been 17. Let's do those real quick. Thank you for reminding me of that. Saves. There we go. Wisdom. One on her will take 8 points of radiant. The one over by Hannibal will take 8 points of radiant. And the one on the ground over by Ulmor take 8 points of radiant. All right, now her thing is down. Okay, that was that action. This one up here on Hannibal will swing the fist twice. Missing and missing. The one over here by Ulmor will stand up. You have to move it to stand, and then we'll take 2 swings at Ulmor. Hitting for 5 bludgeoning since you're raging. And then missing with his next attack. Ulmor, you are up.
Okay. Question first about her radiance. Or I guess her hit points.
Yes.
Well, did last turn? Did we all get that, or
No, you get it at the end of this turn. She just
end of this turn.
Yeah, this turn is when she threw it up. So at the
It
end
was
of this
10?
turn, it was at the end of your turn you will get the hit points. You don't have any right now.
and it's 10?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't. There you go. So you would take 5 points from this, then at the end of your turn, you'll gain the 10 temporary.
Okay. All right. All right. Shaelrin is okay.
Yes, she is paralyzed
Yeah.
until the start of the creature, until she takes damage, or until the end of the Revenant's next turn.
Okay. All right. He's going to attack this one directly in front of him with his spider staff.
Okay, that will hit. For 9.
And he will attempt to use his shield to knock it back.
Okay. Do you want to take your other attack first, or do you want to just try to knock it back first, then move forward and attack?
Yep.
Okay.
So, athletics.
Athletics versus athletics. You do indeed shove it back 5 feet.
Okay. Cool. All right. And with that, I'm going to take the opportunity to run up here and attempt to protect Shaelrin and attack this one.
Okay.
just because he sees that she's in,
Sure.
in trouble. So he wants to try to do what he can.
14 will hit.
Or 8.
8. Nice.
And I got to take wait 5 points. After the 10. Okay.
All right. So at the end of your turn, you will get. You actually added 50. There you go. Nope. Take 5 from your actual hit points.
Okay.
And then you gain 10 temporary hit points.
Okay. Got it.
There you go. And Phelix, you are up.
All right. Going to step down to here.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Rhymes Binding Ice. I'm going to upcast it to 3rd level. And I believe I have, let's see, Spirit Shroud gives me radiant damage, so I will use radiant damage. And I will cast it towards this
Okay.
guardian here, avoiding hitting Shelrin and Ulmor.
Yes, you can totally do that. No problem.
That is a Constitution saving throw. DC is 16 now.
Okay, go ahead and give me your damage. All right, so it's going to take. So it's 22 radiant halved is 11 since it's made it save. It is not vulnerable to anything in particular, but it does take the 11 radiant damage, which will prevent it from regenerating next turn. Unfortunately, it is not hindered by the radiant ice.
Okay, right, yeah.
Any more movement or anything? Or as a bonus action, do you want to move your manifest mind around?
No, but I think as a bonus action, I'm going to shove the guardian with my telekinetic shove.
The one that is
back
on
5 feet.
Ulmor and Shae.
No, this one here, the same one that I.
Okay.
Okay.
So strength save, correct?
Correct. DC 15.
I will succeed.
Okay.
Top of the round, Sharon is paralyzed, but she does get another save at the end of her turn, so we're going to attempt that saving throw. Wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
Yay.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. My apologies. That was the wrong thing making the save. There we go. Because she has disadvantage on it because of the creature being there. So let's attempt her saving throw. She will fail to save. She is still paralyzed until the end of the Crypt Guardian's turn. Hannibal, you are up.
All right. I'm going to take one more step in this direction. I'm going to take Hugh and spin it in my hand a couple times, try to find a battle angle, and take the swing down. And
Okay.
swing back up.
That will hit.
That still connects. And back up on the backswing.
That will bear. Oh, actually, that will hit. That will hit on the numbers.
That's right. I'm like,
15. Damn.
Nice.
Nice.
And I will take a single unarmed strike on the same one.
Okay. That will hit.
Did the Twilight Sanctuary go up or not? Because
No,
she's
it is
paralyzed?
up. No, she didn't have to concentrate on that. That just lasts for a whole
I'm
minute.
saying, did she do the roll after?
I gotcha.
You can see. All right.
11 this time. Goes up to 11.
Sweet. That's my turn.
All right, the Guardians are up. These two Guardians will regenerate 10 hit points. The one to the south will not, as Phelix blasted it with a blast of Rhymes Binding Radiant Energy. This one is going to turn its attention to, actually, no, it is going to still attack Shaelrin because she is paralyzed and it has sworn vengeance upon her. And this one is going to attempt to attack Hannibal. This one is going to move forward to Phelix. Hannibal. Missing, right? Yeah, you got an AC of 18. And missing. The one on Shaelrin. That will hit for 24. Minus 11 is actually 13 damage to her actual hit points. But she is paralyzed, so she's going to take another 66 damage on top of that. 24. And then the one...
While you're doing that, I'm going to use my Sentinel feat as a reaction on the one that attacked Shaelrin. When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you, you get use your reaction, make a melee attack.
Sure.
So I'm going to swing at the one that hit Shaelrin.
Okay. Double hit.
Sweet.
Nice.
I meant to move over there 2 turns ago, and I kept realizing it halfway through Ulmer's turn.
No worries. No worries.
Cool.
All right, and then the one that is on Phelix. AC of 23, Phelix.
Yeah, that hits.
For 15 bludgeoning.
Ouch.
And then 21 for 10 bludgeoning.
I'm going to shield that one.
Okay.
That'll put me up to a 22 AC.
That will miss it. Ulmor, you are up.
Okay.
So Shaelrin is no longer paralyzed because it's the end of the creature's turn.
All right.
Phelix, you do have advantage on your next attack roll, by the way. Deshives did redeem advantage to Phelix. I'm sorry, your next D20 roll. You have advantage.
Aww.
Nice.
I guess he's
Okay.
spending his points to water the plant.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and attack this one in front of me.
Okay.
Swing staff.
That will hit. For 12.
Okay. And once again, shield. I'm going to try to knock him back
Okay.
up towards
Up towards Hannibal. Yeah.
Yeah, up towards Hannibal. Yeah. Yeah. So 1 second.
It will fail the check. It will be pushed back 5 feet.
Okay. And with that, I will step around on this side to attack the one down here once again. Just
Okay.
raging all over the place, swinging the staff,
That will hit.
bashing and smashing, trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Or 7.
All right. That was your action, movement, bonus action, end of turn.
End of turn.
All right, Phelix.
Um,
Want a bonus action first?
yeah, actually, should have done that before. Bonus action, telekinesis, push it away from me if I
All
can.
right. We'll attempt its strength
DC
save.
15.
It will push it back. Is it 10 feet or 15 feet?
It's 5 feet.
5 feet. There we go.
Just enough that I'm not at disadvantage to hit it with the.
With a
Let's go with
blast.
another chromatic orb.
Okay.
I'll do force damage with this one again.
Okay.
Let's see. That button.
That will hit.
6.
I was hoping one of those was going to be a crit.
7 force damage. Oh. And I'm going to move up here. No, not there. Not there. Move here. Behind Ulmor.
Okay. Good of turn.
Yeah, end of turn.
All right. Sharon is going to regain her senses and spend another third level to cast Spirit Guardians yet again. And then she is going to go ahead and pull out her Lightbringer and move down here. Hannibal, you're up.
I look around and wonder what happened to my friends. Gonna swing you at the one up here.
I will hit.
Nice. Come back again with that backswing, hoping to have improved.
My apologies. She's not going to move. She's the smart, one of the smarter of your group, next to, of course, Phelix.
Nice. And I guess
didn't put the other in there. Okay.
And I guess I'm gonna take another key-fueled flurry of blows. Drop that down. And first punch is going up here.
Okay. That will hit. Creature's still standing.
Of course, I'll take a second swing.
That will hit. Creature is still standing.
Grr. That is my turn.
All right. At the start of their turn, they need to make wisdom saves again. The damage that she did this round was 13. This one is not going to survive even if it makes it save, so this one is dead. This one will attempt its wisdom saving throw as well. Yes, we do have an ad break coming up here in about 30 seconds. 6 there. And this one down here, giving it saving throw. Will fail, taking the full 13. All right, and before we do their fist attacks, again, we do have an ad break coming up here in just a few short seconds. So take a moment, refresh your beverages, stretch your legs, use the restroom, grab some snacks, and we will see you on the other side of the ad break. So stick around, we'll be back in a few. All right, we're back on this side of the ad break. The fisticuffs are starting. This Crypt Guardian is going to move down here, Hannibal, and attack Shaelred. Has sworn vengeance on her. This one's attacking
All right.
Ulmor. On Ulmor first. Missing. And then barely hitting for 5 bludgeoning Ulmor.
Okay.
I'll take my sentinel attack on him.
This is the one down here.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. I do need to add some, what was it, 11? Was that after her turn when those went up?
Yep.
Yes.
You need to add her 11 temporary. As the creature's going to swing at her next. Missing both times. Feel free, Hannibal, to make your attack with your sentinel attack.
Yeah.
Missing as well. Ulmor, you are
Begins.
up.
Swinging away at this one at the lower end.
Yes. That will hit for 7.
Swinging once again.
That will hit for 12.
And why not? In the fit of the moment, fit of the rage of the moment, I'll go ahead and bash him with the shield once again, try to knock him prone.
Okay. Oof. That was a good one.
3.
Oh, it is prone.
Okay.
End of turn.
End of turn, yes.
Phelix.
It
It does look, looking over the battlefield, it does look like Ulmor has the one to the south well in hand, but Shaelred and Hannibal do look to be very bloodied themselves, and the Crypt Guardian between them does not seem to have suffered too much at their hands.
all right. I'm gonna try a mind sliver on that one.
Okay.
Uh, so intelligence save DC 16.
It will make
course.
the save. Go ahead, throw out my dice for you. Change them over.
I think that's about it for me. Pushing them is not really going to do anything to help anybody. So,
All right, Shaelrin is up. You see her pull from her pack her healer's kit, and she's going to heal herself a die 6 plus 12. Oops. For 13. And then she's going to cast another mass healing word. This will affect all of you. Just going to roll her normal healing word. So everyone gets back 6 more hit points.
Okay.
Oops. We didn't mean to do that. 28 to start, plus 13. Plus 19. There we go. Plus 19. Okay. At the end of her turn, this is plus 8. Your temporaries will go to 11 if you've lost any. And Hannibal, you're up.
That sounds amazing. I am going to swing on the one to my south. You.
That will hit.
Excellent. I'm backswing, getting a little better at this.
On a 6.
I'm gonna hold on to just one punch, regular.
Okay. That will hit.
A little more damage.
Nice.
Right, and that's me.
All right, the start of their turn. What is her damage for Spirit Guardians this round? 12. All right, attempting the wisdom save for the one in the middle. We'll make it save, taking 6 radiant. One to the bottom. Will fail, taking 12 radiant. All right, the one at the bottom is going to stand up. Ulmor. Vengeful glare in your direction, declaring you that is sworn vengeance against you. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. Oh, my forte.
Right?
Yeah. I'm going to use my inspiration on this one.
Okay. Oof. 15 was the DC, so Ulmor is paralyzed until the end of the Revenant's next turn.
Man.
Gross.
The one up here is going to swing at Shaelrin again. Hitting for 27 points. So 27 minus 11 is 16. DC 13 saving throw now for her concentration. Which she has an advantage from Warcaster. She makes the save, so Spirit Guardians remains. And then a second fist attack as well. Oh! Is going to crit her for 14 and 28. 42 points. You see how much hit points she has left?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
Oops, I put that on the wrong creature. That's more than that. That's good. That's my fault for putting on the wrong creature. Attempting her saving throw this time for Spirit Guardians. 26. That makes her save.
Ooh.
Ulmor, you're up. She took 48
right.
points of damage. Yep.
All right, hitting this one. Trying to.
All right.
Spider staff swing.
We'll miss.
Spider staff swing once again.
We'll hit. Finishing that one off.
Oh wait, my paralyzation is.
Oh, yeah, your paralyzation was there. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, sorry about
No
that.
worries.
Yeah.
No worries. We can just do this. At the end of your turn, you can make the save again. DC
Okay.
15 wisdom save.
Okay. Yep. I'm just standing there, dumbstruck.
So I'll give you a wisdom save.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At the end of my turn. I got you.
You are no longer paralyzed at the end of your turn.
Well, look at that. All right.
Felix, you are up.
Let's try a mind sliver on this one and see if I can take it out.
Okay.
DC 16. Oh, for 4 damage. Even if it hits.
It fails the save, but you note it is immune to psychic damage.
Okay.
Oh, my apologies. Resistant to psychic damage. Resistant to psychic damage. So it still takes 2.
All right. But it does have an added effect on it, right? Let's see. Could be wrong. Mind sliver. Not that in chat. Sorry. Subtracts 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes.
Yep.
I got a great seat. I get to watch the fireworks for my town right now.
Anything else?
No, that'll be it for me.
All right, top of the round, Shaelren is up. She's going to swing Lightbringer to the north.
Hit points.
Pardon?
With 5 hit points left. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Her bonus action is going to be cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
So first, she's going to swing the Spiritual Weapon, the one to the south. Missing. Then she's going to swing the Lightbringer at the one to the north. Hitting. Doing 6 damage, but 2 of it is radiant damage. Hannibal, you're up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm
You have
going to hew.
advantage, Hannibal.
I do. I'm going to hew.
I will hit.
I'll ask Ulmor, you sure these things aren't plants? And I'll swing again.
God damn it. Hold on a second. There we go. It's not taking the minus in there for some reason, just putting in the number I put in there. 12 will miss, unfortunately. Any bonus actions?
Yeah, I will punch it.
Flurry or no?
Just regular 1 punch.
Okay. I will hit.
Nice. I'll move 15 to here, or 10 to here,
Okay.
and that's me.
All right. Oh wait, let me roll her hit points again at the
Oh,
end of
yeah.
her turn. Yeah. Plus 8. 11. Still 11.
Solid.
All right. At the start of their turn, they must make a save versus her spirit guardians. This turn, her spirit guardians are going to do 23 radiant damage if they fail their wisdom save. And my apologies, her DC is 16 too. I forgot about that. So her DC save, the one to the north, will make it save, taking 11 radiant. One to the south, it does not matter. It is going to die. The Crypt Guardian on her will swing its fist, hitting. As she falls to the ground, she does, instead, she will have to make her save still. Her death ward goes off, and she's at 1 hit point.
First.
We will attempt her saving throw. See, that is a total of 27, DC 13 at advantage with Warcaster. DC 13 makes the save. Its second attack against her will hit, dropping her to the ground unconscious.
I'm going to take my reaction to Sentinel with you at the one hitting Shae.
All right. That will hit. For 9 slashing. All right.
Yeah. Ah! Still there.
Still there, indeed.
Ulmer's going to get the fucking kill for this after all the damage we've
Yes.
done.
It only counts as one.
Ulmor,
Oh.
you are up.
All right.
It only counts
Turn
as
up.
one.
Miss! Miss!
And swinging the spider staff.
Hits.
Nice.
Finishing it off.
Okay. And I immediately drop my rage, and I'm like, oh. And can I do bonus action?
You're out of combat now.
Okay, I was going to do, okay. In that case, I will do a little healing. I was going to say healing word on Elrin.
Okay.
Cast it at 2nd level. Boom.
Healing her back up to 8. All right. Her weapon is gone as well. As the dust literally settles around you all, having defeated the Tomb Guardians at the Crypt Guardians at the beginning of the crypt, Shaelrin is sorely wounded, as is Phelix and Hannibal. What would you like to do? Shaelrin will come around to each one of you that is wounded, and Ulmor, you've been wounded too. It's just not showing any wounds on your...
Yeah, I've got it in my thing. It's just not showing.
What are your hit points at?
72. Supposed to be 72. We'll change it now. Try this.
Okay.
It's still not showing.
I can see it, though. I can see the change.
Okay.
So first thing
Showing
she'll
in
do
my
is she'll
bars.
come around first for each one of you and roll a d6 plus 12 for your using her healer kit on each one of you. So on Phelix first, you'll get 18 back. On Ulmor, you'll get 17 back. So you're up to full. And Hannibal, you'll get 14 back. She already used it on herself. So you won't be able to get a bonus use of that again until you take a short rest. She is out of 3rd level spells, and she used one of her 4th level spells already for Death Ward at the beginning of the day. Don't want to open up her character sheet because it will definitely lag the game down for some reason. We're going to figure that out before next week's session. And I don't believe she has. She does have a 2nd, 4th level spell. And she does not have access to that. So she is going to use a 4th level spell on herself for Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Her last 4th level spell, healing 17 more.
And Ulmor can cast Cure Wounds on her also to help out.
Okay.
And he'll upcast. No, he can't. He can't. He's just going to do this first level.
Okay.
3.
All right. She will go ahead and quaff her 1 potion of greater healing that she has.
I have you. I'm gonna pop 2.
So I'm assuming you don't want to take a short rest this early.
Not really, if we can help it. Take a long rest. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I think greater healing's 4d4 plus 4, right?
44 plus 4. Yep, I just rolled 1.
Go ahead and do that again for me.
Nice.
14 to her, okay. All right, she's a little over half. She's good to go, though. She grits her teeth.
All right. That's my 2nd one. 12. 15. All we're spending money on. Yep, so I'm fully healed. With 2 potions, I can go up and get punched some more.
All right, so that hour and a half was just the first room of the crypt.
This is gonna be fun.
How do you think your group is faring so far?
The crypt is tough.
It definitely seems that they didn't want people, want living things to come down here.
No.
But kind of looking through as the dust settles, looking through the destroyed sarcophagi now, the statues are definitely starting to crumble as well. But there does not seem to be anything of value in this area at all.
Okay.
See a door.
They should be able to see 2 doors. There's a door here
Oh, okay.
and a door here.
So do we have 10 hit points?
Yes, it was 11.
Okay.
Was the last one she rolled before she went down.
Thought so, but my token is acting weird with not showing what I have, and
Yeah, it's a roll 20 thing that's going on with it.
yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't update properly. I have to go all fixing with the jump gate, the new system that came out for Roll 20 jump gate that's still in beta at the moment.
Very nice. Okay, is everybody good? I guess we could continue on.
Yeah. Sharon is going to remain in the back.
Felix is taking point.
As you enter into the hall, the sound of splashing water echoes from the west end of this long hallway. Hold on before you continue moving, if you would please. Let me finish the description real quick. The north wall has 3 doors. Actually, go ahead and move up a little bit more, Ulmor. You're fine. You can move up to where you moved.
Okay.
Because Felix has 300 foot of dark vision, so you can see all 3 doors on the north wall. Felix, you
Oh,
should
it's actually
see.
not showing me.
Pardon?
It's not showing me. It's only showing me out to here.
Okay, 1 second. Let me fix that real quick on your character sheet.
I can see to here is what I was going to say.
There we go.
There
The sound of splashing water echoes from the west end of this long hallway. The north wall has 3 doors, and the south wall bears an elaborate carving of a procession of dwarven priests carrying wrapped bodies. As you enter the hall, since you're in the lead, Ulmor, give me a d6, please. Ooh, as you step in, you see those carvings of the procession on the wall, and a ghostly image of a dwarf zombie lurches from the wall, puts its rotted finger to its lips, then uses its other hand to peel back its rib cage and reveal a gem hidden within its chest cavity. The zombie then disappears into the wall.
Ulmor looks at it and is very, very confused as to where it went, and kind of
Everyone
looks
sees it. Everyone sees it, by the way.
closer. It looks closer to the wall now where the thing disappeared.
Sure.
Do it again.
Again, it's just an elaborate carving of a dwarven procession.
Okay. Where it disappeared, he looks at the carving and tries to look and see where the gem went.
You don't see it.
Takes his staff and just kind of pokes at the wall.
Okay. Very dusty. You see some dust kind of come from the crevices of the engravings on the wall, but it's solid dwarven stone.
And he kind of turns around and he says, "You guys see that? Damn ghosts
See
are
what?
coming out of the walls."
Give me an Arcana check if you would, Felix. Nice.
19.
It definitely seems to be some sort of haunting within this corridor. Sharon can confirm that for you as well. Usually, when areas are haunted, there's usually some sort of echo of things that have happened in the past. And there's usually some sort of way to put the haunt to rest.
All right, I will relay that insight information and any ideas?
Ulmor, he says, "I can poke it again."
Don't.
As you mentioned that, Ulmor, you do note that it comes out of the wall right here as well. Again, it does the same thing. Puts its fingers to its lips and peels back its rib cage. You can see the gem. And it slips back into the wall.
Whoa, it has a gem. Hey, maybe it wants to see our gems.
I don't think so, dear, Sharon says.
Okay. But don't show it our gems then. Sheldon says no. It might want to take them.
Perhaps see what is to the north. She points to the door right beside you, Felix.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Take a listen at the door.
The one thing you do note is the doors themselves are thick slabs of stone with simple handles a few feet from the floor. Go ahead and give me a perception check. You don't hear anything on the other side, but as you're listening to the door, you do spot coming out of the wall that same figure, that ghostly dwarven zombie, pops out of the wall, makes the same gestures, and moves back in.
What does that mean? It's the gem in his chest. Gem heart. Heart gem? Ulmor scratching his head with his staff. Kind of this.
But there doesn't appear to be any sounds on the other side of the door, Phelix.
All right.
It's probably fine.
Yeah. One of you want to open it?
Okay.
I'll open it.
All right, Hannibal. Open it.
In this room, Hannibal, you see a stone slab in the middle of the room bears a few metal tools covered in dust. A deep basin is near the slab. Wall carvings show dwarves reverently tending to the dead, washing the bodies.
This is the kitchen, I tell Ulmor.
Yeah. Kitchen for cannibals. Never know about some of these dwarves.
Sharon does relay after Hannibal again attempts to mess with Ulmor, does explain that the room was probably where they would stitch up any wounds that bodies would have, preparing them for burial and such like that. Looking in the basin itself there, Ulmor, that you move towards, you can see maybe a handful of pumice stones in the basin, which is definitely dry, having not been used for probably about a millennia.
I pick up one of the pumice stones.
Okay.
Pick it up, kind of casually feeling it. Looking down the hallway here, seeing what else.
In the next room, you do see a very similar furnishings to this room that you're in now. Moving the manifest mind in there, Phelix, as well. You can see this room does seem to hold a number of different niches along the wall that perhaps maybe once held something. They're all filled with dust now. And there does seem to be another basin. Sharon does come over to you, Hannibal, and ask you to open up the Granite Ledger to see if they might have any information about these different areas.
Of course. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll hold it out so we can both look at it.
Sure. Looking through, it does seem as if the first chamber indeed was for washing and preparing the bodies. The center room seems to be a place where the sanctified gemstone would be placed within the corpse's chest. For what purpose? Probably some sort of rite to Dumathoin. But those niches would have probably, niches, whatever you want to call them, would have probably held gemstones and perhaps maybe even some in the basins.
Gotcha.
But you do see a basin at the end of the slab there, Ulmor, right in front of you.
I'll go there and look at that one too. He just walks around this way a little bit.
Okay. So you do see a door to the south?
And then kind of looks back, see what everybody's doing. And is there anything unusual about this door? He looks at it.
Just another slab stone door, just like the one you entered the previous room.
And he looks for more stones, pumice stones in here.
As you start to move up there, Phelix, with your passive perception, you do note that there is a secret door in the northern wall.
Oh, hey. Found another door.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. I figured I'd let you find it.
Right. Okay. Good eye, Hannibal.
It does seem to be hidden within the carving of a dwarven attendant. There does seem to like the tendency to be placed in her hand in the chest of the deceased priest. And then, of course, Ulmor, you did see another chamber beyond to the west that also had another slab in it, but there does appear to be some sort of objects on the slab in the western room.
Want to check out that room before we go north?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, there's something on this table over here. He walks up and looks at the table.
Indeed, you do note on the slab in the western room, there are enough pieces and parts to make a full suit of plate armor. You do note from Hannibal, since you have the ledger with you and such like that, that the pieces of hold on a second, I'm on the wrong layer. That the pieces of the armor itself are decorated as a funerary armor for the Talhund, for Dumathoin's faithful. They're carved with religious things and such like that, and mentions that. Just mentioning it, just with your passive, what's your passive insight? With your passive perception being 16, what's your passive insight?
Insight is 13.
Yeah, looking at, go ahead and give me an insight check with advantage then, since you have the granite ledger with you.
19 and 19.
Nice. Yes, you think that if indeed these creatures, like the creatures that you encountered in the first part of the crypt, were loyal to Dumathoin, perhaps someone wearing this armor might cause the faithful to be reluctant to attack its wearer. AKA basically giving disadvantage on the attack rolls to anyone wearing, for someone attacking the bearer of this plate armor.
Ulmor, can you or Shae renew his plate?
Sharon, in her wounded state, steps forward and says, "Yes, I can."
I can use it, but I just use it to give to other people. I don't want it. Weights me down. Shelrin, I think it'll look great on you. I start picking up pieces and kind of trying to help assemble them and give them to Shelrin.
She will don that plate armor. I got to see what the difference is between that and her breastplate. I know an AC of it's AC of 18, is it, for plate armor?
I think so.
Plate items.
Now, she doesn't get any dex bonus, but it's an 18, so that would take her AC up to a 21 with the shield +1 that she has. So we'll put that temporarily there. She's definitely going to take that, but it's going to take her and Ulmor a few moments, probably about 10 minutes, I believe, to put that armor on. Yeah, to don the armor. Yeah, it's going to take at least 10 minutes. So if Phelix and Hannibal, she'll help Ulmor move all of the pieces back into this room. And if Ulmer's going to help her, I'll say that it's going to take 5 minutes to don the armor, with Ulmor helping her out. So Phelix and Hannibal, if you want to investigate the secret door to the north, you can feel free to do so.
Absolutely.
Yep.
With just with your passive investigation, Phelix, looking at the secret door and the etching there, you would think to open the hidden, the secret door there, that you would just press the hands of the attendant that are in the carving.
Okay. I will do so.
We should
All
have
right.
the
Go ahead.
we should have the Scooby-Doo plate wearing individual go through the door first.
We have to wait 5 minutes.
Yep.
You have no problem doing so? Okay. So her AC is temporarily up to 21. We'll change that on her token, but not anywhere else. There we go. And she will go ahead and switch spots with you, Phelix, if you want. And she will go ahead and open the door for you. A small empty room bears a heavy stone door opposite its entrance.
Hmm.
She kind of steps back and closes the secret door and mentions that knowing that that's there is good, but it might be good to explore further on. If that leads deeper into the crypt, we might not be prepared for what's beyond, she says.
Ooh.
I'll double check that and see if there's anything in the ledger.
The ledger does not have anything about the secret door.
Rats. All right. I asked Ulmor, was there another room in this room? Did I see that?
There's a door to the south.
You
I
can
don't know
check
about
the door if you
any
want, though.
Secret doors.
You can check the door if you want to, though, Hannibal. Like you and Felix can like investigate or perceive, use perception or investigation on the door itself if you want.
Sure.
I'll do
Harmonica?
an invest.
Yeah, I played harmonica for 4 minutes while they were changing their armor. We had 5 minutes to kill, so 4.5 was harmonica solo.
Oh, it finally comes up. Yeah, well, I would have chimed in on the longhorn. How's that?
You were there with me.
Okay.
You were helping her put the armor on, so you couldn't play the longhorn.
I couldn't play the longhorn.
Aw,
Yes,
you were humming.
right.
But yeah, checking that out, we'll use the 18 rolls fine. Checking it out, does seem to be there's something on the other side of the door blocking it anyway.
Okay.
Door to the north.
Alrighty.
Sherwin would suggest that it would probably be a good time to take a short rest before continuing on. Although she does have a number of spells remaining, with her being as wounded as she is, if Ulmor could play a Song of Rest while we take a short rest, she would definitely benefit from that. Saving some of her spells to be able to heal you all as well. Which is odd because she's only asked for a rest once, and your whole time adventuring with her.
Yeah, so if we're taking a short rest, definitely will. He breaks out the longhorn and plays it very lightly.
Is everyone okay with taking a short rest for her? If you want,
Yeah,
she can take a
absolutely.
short rest here while you continue on. You've left her to trance before,
Nah.
if you recall. You've left her
Yeah.
to trance before and continue on your own. That's totally up to you.
I can take back those 4 key points. I'd like the short rest.
Okay.
Okay, short rest.
Yeah, short rest isn't a bad idea.
And I
All
potioned
right.
up. So
I start playing the
long.
longhorn and do a Song of Rest. Everybody regains an extra hit point.
Woo!
In addition to spinning your
Okay.
dice.
Wrong button. Oops, why am I doing that? There we go. That's why. $17. All right. After that short rest, go ahead and take the benefits of a short rest. She will get back. Actually, she won't get back a channel divinity. She's the free one from her amulet. She is ready to
Nice.
continue on.
We lose those temp hit points, right?
Nope. You only lose
short
10
rest.
pips.
That's right.
Yeah, 10 hit points after a long rest.
Roger. All right.
And obviously, all the doors in those rooms leads back out into the hall in which you had started off.
Yes. All right. So everybody
Back
feeling
up to the
good?
hall.
Go back out.
You definitely, as you ask if the party's feeling good, you definitely see that for the first time in the number of days and weeks you've been traveling with Sharon, she seems very, very pensive.
Oh, okay.
Felix, obviously to you, it's most likely because she's never had her death ward go off.
No.
And she does seem to be a bit shaky. But you do note that she does quickly hide it and cover it up with a bit of resolve, ready to press on. Taking your manifest mind farther down.
Yeah, sending it on a little walkabout.
Okay.
See what I can see.
Before everyone else heads down there real quick, let me go ahead and describe this for Felix. I see most of the room has collapsed into a flooded pit. The dark water ripples and splashes strangely as though something lurks deep beneath its surface.
All right. Hey, you see that water down there? I think there might be something in it.
Oh, Ulmor will find out. He'll throw a rock for us.
I've got one in my hand. Look at this cool rock. It has holes in it.
Sharon coughs and looks at you worriedly.
You know, I've heard those rocks can float.
No way. Try it.
Real quick.
What?
Before, since you're looking through your manifest mind, right?
Yep.
Since that's kind of approaching the room cautiously, you do happen to see two figures interacting.
Okay. Oh.
You see a large, many-headed creature kind of splashing about. The large creature grumpily nips at the water, the creature made of water, for jostling one of its sleeping heads. And the watery creature responds with a high-pitched giggle, kind of squirts water into one of the faces of the large, multi-headed creature.
All right. I will relay that. There's a big three-headed thing. There's a water
Actually,
thing.
you do note that the creature looks like this.
Oh, it's
Can you all see that handout?
Yes.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm not going to make you all make rolls. You've heard of creatures of legends of this type. It does appear to be some sort of hydra.
Okay.
Okay.
And on that note, very close to the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and end the stream right here. We'd like to leave them on a little bit of cliffhangers if they're not in combat. So we will pick up next week. We're going to leave everyone right where you're at here in the crypt of the Talhund, the Manifest Mind, with Felix peering into the chamber beyond. And you see, just as that relation comes out, you see the ghostly zombie peek out, puts its lips to its finger to its lips one more time, shows the gem, and then points behind it down the hallway with the very mischievous smile, and pops back into the wall, indicating that that would defeating what's ever up there would put that haunt to rest. And we will leave where you're at right there. We will pick this back up next Sunday, the 14th of July, 7 p.m. Eastern, for episode 26 of Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk. Great job, everyone.
Yes.
Very, very intense combat getting into the crypt.
First thing. Oof.
Yeah, we'll see
Rough.
what happens next week when you have to go up against the big Hydra. But of course, thanks for everyone stopping by tonight to check us out and hang out with us. It's very awesome that you want to spend your evening with us. Of course, thanks to all our supporters, especially our patrons from Patreon. If you'd like to help support the channel, please consider becoming a patron or subbing here on Twitch, twitch.tv/themasterofdungeons. We also love your Prime subs as well. Of course, the link to our Patreon page as well as our YouTube channel and all of our social media accounts can be found in the About Us section below here on Twitch. If you would subscribe to us on YouTube, it is free to do. Like and comment on the videos, share them with your friends, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, give us some likes, retweets, all of that good stuff. And every sub, like, and share helps us immensely. You can also support the channel by clicking on the About Us section below, as mentioned earlier, and join the Master of Dungeons community Discord server, where you can help shape an accepting, caring, and inclusive D&D community. The merch store is also open. Anything you purchase from there will directly help support the channel. Of course, tips are always welcome, but not expected. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern for our Around the Campfire stream. But have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great day tomorrow, and we will talk to you very soon. Take care, and as always, happy adventuring. We'll see you next time.